Hi, man. What's up? How you doing? Was this too quick a transition? You know what I mean? Like 9, 10 black dudes in a row and then like the whitest man on the planet. Let your eyes adjust. I was watching George Bush today, man. I don't want to be a dick or anything, but could that guy like rehearse before he gives a speech? You know what I mean? Just say it like a couple of times. How awful was he during that hurricane? He's just walking out, man. He's just like winging it. Walking out on the White House lawn, there's like sun in his eyes. He's just out there like, there was a hurricane. People are wet. People don't like being wet unless they're swimming in a pool. He sounded like a little kid giving a book report who like didn't read the book. He's just up there making up shit like, there was a dog and he bit somebody and they didn't like it. Every night I gotta watch that idiot on the news, or they're doing stories about how fat kids are getting. You see that every night? Every night they're talking about kids are obese now. Not fat kids, not chubby, they're obese. Like bedridden. Like just laying there like, I had my first heart attack when I was 4. I was riding on my big wheel, I couldn't feel my left side, I began to pass out my head. Yo, I don't want to be a dick, but how do you get that fat that quick? I can see you're 30, 40 years old. You went to McDonald's for 20 years. You got a little gut going. But you're 5 years old. There's no excuse for that shit. I'm telling you, man, that's the parents' fault. You know, stop feeding him. He doesn't have any money. You know, seriously. He can't go get a job so he can go buy more food. He's got to eat whatever you give him. Just put a plate of seaweed right in front of him. Go ahead, eat it. I don't want to eat it. Good, go to bed. Those are your options. I own you until you're 18. Do some jumping jacks. No, but these parents are ridiculous. They act like they have no control. They're like, well, I don't know what to do. I mean, I tried to make him eat a salad, but he didn't want to eat it. He was like, no, I want a cupcake. I said, you can't have it. But then he sat on my chest, and I couldn't breathe, and I just wanted to get up after a while. People, you need tough love at that moment. If your kid is obese and he's still asking for cake, you gotta be like, no, you little shit. You're eating carrots and celery until I can pick you up again. This is ridiculous. You got a goddamn hernia on your birthday. I know that seems harsh to be making fun of obese kids. I'll tell you why I'm doing it. They don't really exist. At least to the level that they're saying it's an epidemic. You know, which means when I leave the theater tonight, I should have, like, difficulty getting to my car because of all these fat fucking kids out there like, Jesus Christ, they're everywhere. They're like locusts.
All right, you guys have been a great crowd. I appreciate you sitting here with us. We're going to bring out the next act. You guys ready? Good. Your final comedian of tonight. You guys all know him. He's hilarious. You've heard him numerous times on the Opie and Anthony show. Show him some love, Bill Burr.
All right, thank you. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. How are you? Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 a.m. on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. because they're in the process, they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. People are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. Because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let the thoughts just spin away, I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her. Just throwing that out there. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Bill Burr, a round of applause for Bill, man. Great. Did you have a nice time tonight? Thank you guys, and I really mean that for supporting this show. Let me thank you so much for being a part of it and providing the theme song. I love you.
Anytime.
Thank you guys very much. We'll see you again. I appreciate it.
He's actually not only one of the funniest comics working today, his name is really fun to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr!
Thank you. How are you? How's it going? Still got some life in you? Awesome. I can't wait for these elections to be over. You know? It's like enough already. Just fucking pick somebody. How many more goddamn debates are gonna be, right? 1,000 points of light, health insurance trickling down, everybody gets applesauce. Doesn't matter. I want to find an honest guy. You know what I mean? Some guy's just going to get on TV and be like, look, in order for this whole thing to work, at least 2/3 of you need to just go to the beach and walk into the ocean. There's only so much chicken and fresh water left. If you're not in that upper third, just be honest with yourselves. You know, they should have auditions. Whatever you do, you got to audition to still be here, right? You're a plumber, fix that sink better than 70% of the other fuckers, and that's it. Put some wrenches in your pocket, go to the beach, and out you go. Yeah, straight across the board. Dentists, comedians, I'd do it. I'd stand in a line with a bunch of clowns, right? Tumblers and shit. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't. No, I take comfort in knowing that. There's no way I'm making it. I'm useless. I am. I'm 44. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Why am I still here? Just another person taking up space, walking into a Starbucks. Oh, Sheryl Crow CD. Right? Why am I here? I have a horrible science background. Do you know cruise ships blow my mind? Blow my mind. I don't get how something that big and metal can float. I don't get it. Makes no sense. And there's always some nerd there to try to explain it. Well, the area times the mass. Oh, fuck you with your magic. I don't get it. It's got a smokestack. It's got an anchor. Right? Dude, explain the pool. How can you have a pool on a boat? You dug a hole in the boat, filled it with water, you got fat people going in it. That's game, set, and match. Speaking of nerds, when is the nerd epidemic just gonna end? Like, when is the nerd bubble just gonna burst? They're fucking everywhere. Every show, they got some guy with black frame glasses. Oh, I'm kind of awkward. I don't know how to talk to the opposite sex. Like, this is supposed to, like, inspire me?
You know, when I was a kid, nerds had shame. They had shame. They had horrible days at school. They were stuffed in lockers, left there overnight reading whatever they could find. Then in the mornings, janitor let them out, and then they got the shit kicked out of them for wearing the same stuff 2 days in a row. Now they're walking around all proud, double pocket protectors, black socks yanked up. This is what happens when you get rid of bullying. It is. When you get rid of a species' natural predator, it just grows exponentially. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it! Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face, trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
The Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Ben Mankiewicz from Turner Classic Movies, and from comedy, it's Bill Burr. Hey, Bill, how are you?
How are you? How's it going?
That's going.
Who am I looking at? This is weird. Good. I can see myself there.
See that? You're looking at the right. You're looking. Just look at me.
I just got back from a remake of the new $6 Million Man episode. Look at this.
Is that what you look?
Breakdancer or something. It's terrible. Be honest with you, whatever I'm looking at, I forgot. I didn't forget. I thought it was at 1:30. It's actually at 11:30. So
that's why you didn't have time to look pretty?
Yeah, that's why. I got my hat on. I don't want people thinking that I'm disrespecting your show. Look at you guys. You're all dressed up. Got your jacket on. This is all official.
It's all right.
I should be the guy in the field that they interviewed. Well, we do have an eyewitness. It was a four-door sedan. That's how I'm dressed. Right.
No, I just wear the jacket to cover my hump. That's the only reason.
Oh, that's all right.
Otherwise,
hey, I wear the hat to cover the bald spot.
Oh.
We're all doing our things.
You're not doing the Propecia?
No. Why would you do that? You think you're not... Okay, the hair's not going to fall out, then what? It attacks my liver? What am I going to want when I'm 80? To be able to do this or to have this thing working?
That's exactly... Okay. I started taking it. It works, obviously, but I had
Jimmy asked the same question, just has a different answer. He gave up the liver.
I gave up the liver.
You got the liver.
I'm like, they'll be able to figure it out in 20 years, right? I'll be able to. They'll put me up to a machine or something, or Mickey Mantle. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
You gotta shake...
Right, Mickey Mantle's fine. Yeah.
You got to shake a lot of hands to get up that liver list.
Yeah. You got to take it on top of the donor.
You're going to have to tone down your act, man. If you're going to need some friends. A couple of senators. I'm
going to stop making fun of Dr. Oz, and he's going to get me in. But
I'm just waiting for the pill.
What do you mean? What pill? I got the pill. Propecia.
No, the one pill. You just throw it in. But the side, you got to pay somehow. I feel like you're gonna feel like your head's on fire for 90 seconds. So they just strap you down, and they just go, "Hey, ready? Wait. Okay, do it." You just, and then you come out. And then you have to go into therapy.
I'd much
to deal with that level of pain. You shake for like 3 days, but you just have a cough that will make.
I'd rather get it over with, right? I'd rather just have it be horrible instead of not be like everything happened to me, right? So I started losing my train of thought. That happened. My balls started hurting, and
from Propecia.
From Propecia. In fact, I Googled my balls hurt, which is how I found out.
That's what they say really quick at the end of the commercial, right? And then your balls hurt.
You might forget what we're talking about. Your balls might hurt. Bye. You may experience sudden ball pain.
Yeah.
I did. I thought I went to my doctor. I don't have cancer. All right, it's good. All right. But I did. I went and I ended up in a Propecia chat group, and that's where all these...
pulling the hair from your crotch. That's what it is, right out through the top.
It takes them right off of my sack and puts them up here.
You went into a Propecia chat group?
Yes.
Really?
And because when I Googled my balls hurt, then I'm like, I have that. So I had to stop taking it, but it's still kind of hanging on, so I'm happy.
That is a depressing chat group. That is not a bunch of guys sort of celebrating life there.
Yeah. You know what's scary though is as you type in Propecia and you type in my and just the B of balls and it just goes balls hurt. Click. Yeah, see, so that's the thing. Look, I mean, what are you trying to do? You're going to try to be on People magazine?
You know what? I'm married and everything. Who cares, right?
Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares? You're right. I'm going to let it go.
Yeah, and you don't want to be on that sexiest list, man. Those are the people that go, man, what happened to him?
I don't want to have one of those problems where you get too much pussy. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
No, I got to tell you though, it's fantastic. just so you know.
Being on the sexiest list?
How the hair? I mean, come on, it's freaking glorious.
No, I know. I that's why I'm willing to have my balls. All right, so here, let's get to.
New York has the power and the money, and Washington, D.C. gets the notoriety, and Boston and Philly got a little chip on their shoulder. Like, it's almost like we'll show you. Like, the media's tough.
That's a bunch of crap that just the media came up with. Like, they always sit there going, like, Boston and Philly feel inferior to New York City. I wasn't sitting there going, I like the John Hancock Tower, but have you seen the Empire State Building? Oh, what I would do to kill for buildings like that. I didn't care.
You know something? Once I saw the whole Baker Mayfield thing, once you get your opinion, you're like crazy with it. You just won't back down. You had a pro athlete sitting here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Got right in his kitchen.
You're gym class Jerry over here arguing with the guy like you got drafted too. It was ridiculous.
And then I see this play right here. Now watch this, Baker. And you throw a touchdown, and instead of... Now, I don't like this. I'm going to tell you right now. How come you're not... What? Where are you going? Where are you going over there?
Our band is over there. Our student section's right there. And then straight back to our sideline.
What about your teammates?
Did you watch the rest of the game?
I watched the whole game.
You did? So you saw me celebrate with my teammates like the 3 touchdowns before that, too?
I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
You want me to be a soft, one of those Twitter tough guys? When guys come and sit on the couch, I go right after them. Don't you respect me for that?
No, I don't. Your big dumb desk hiding behind your microphone.
I respect you for keeping it real, Colin.
Yeah, I kept it 100.
What about when you call somebody out and then have them in front of you? That's punk. Can't do
No,
that.
but then you can actually just admit that you're wrong when the guy's delivering, because now he's delivering, he's still trashing.
Well, yeah, he's not admitting that he's wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Guy, Tom left Belichick, and there was this sense that Belichick wore his ass out. He was exhausted from it. If you had to pick...
Oh, my God. Are you going to go Real Housewives on me here?
Well, I'm saying...
You weren't in the locker room. You don't know what happened. Who did you talk to?
I'm American.
Some other guy who never played professional sports by the water cooler? You don't know what happened.
I heard you have a terrible theory, and I want you to say this. So your theory on Boston is, let's just wait till LeBron's old. You don't want to be aggressive and get players.
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
You got misinformation.
What did you say?
Well, why would you say I have a horrible theory without checking with me first? It's like you already threw me under the bus. Well, I get it. You got a big desk.
You seem so reasonable. Our Patriot fans, like, it's so funny. With the Red Sox, it doesn't matter how great you are.
I just love how you go into questions.
Okay. So just
You
let me...
seem so reasonable. Okay, what unreasonable Boston person are you going to trash this time?
Okay. So with the
While
Red...
we're discussing politics.
Well, let me finish here. Okay. When the Red Sox, no matter how great you are...
Whatever you think we do there.
You're in your comedy prime right now. Like, this is, you got about 8 years left.
How do you judge that?
Because your energy level is high. You're nimble. I mean, dude.
And what do you do? I'm not like an athlete. I'm going to blow out an Achilles and I can't write a joke anymore. If I blow out an Achilles, that's 20 minutes of material.
I think it's easier to be funny in lousy weather. Seinfeld calls it the comedy jet stream. Seattle, Minneapolis, Boston, New York. Nobody's funny in Phoenix. Nobody.
What are you talking about? David Spade is from Phoenix.
Only funny guy ever from Phoenix. Huh? That's the whole.
Nice recovery.
In the whole world.
I only have 2 comics on this show, Bill Burr and David Spade. Nobody funny in Phoenix.
But
half your comedians you put on this show are from that state.
No, I banned them. No matter how great a Red Sox you are, when you leave, you get trashed by ownership. It doesn't matter. Manny, Schilling, it doesn't matter. No more. But Patriot fans are okay rooting for Tom. It's like 2 different fan bases. The Red Sox fans, the minute you leave...
They're not. They're the same people. It's the same city. Do you think they ship out all the Patriots fans during baseball season?
2 comedians I bring on the show, David Spade and Bill Burr. And he's a football fan. He's a Patriot fan. He's got 2 things right now. F is for Family, 3rd year on Netflix. That's good, because that's good money over there.
Yes, sir.
It's excellent money.
Yes, it is.
A lot of money.
Jesus, what are you trying to do? You trying to get me some gold digger to go after me?
Here we go.
Let's relax. Like, we're very, you wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just...
No, I know what happened. You came right at me just saying my theory stunk. I'm just here to promote a cartoon. I'm a dancing monkey today. I'm trying to be a good guy. I want people to like me and watch the show here, and you're coming at me. I don't know anything about hoop. I'm a 5'10" white guy.
And then you're also on The Front Runner, which, starring you and Hugh Jackman, you're a comedian who can act, which is amazing, because I think acting's hard, and you act. Are you a good actor?
There's a lot of comedians. Robin Williams won an Oscar. Eddie Murphy. I mean, there's a lot of... Martin Lawrence. There's a lot of good comedian actors. I got like 8 lines in a movie, dude. You're acting like I'm doing some Daniel Day-Lewis stuff.
My left foot. When Brady left the system and went to Tampa and won, I'm like, that's good for the performer. He means more than the system. You're a performer. I'd root for you over Caesars. Do you lean a little Boston of you look at Tom and go, he kind of stuck it to the system. The guy beat the system.
Oh, this is such a Real Housewife question. Is his victory somebody else's defeat?
Well, let me ask you this, though. If I said,
Yeah, come up with another, I don't know what the hell, Real Housewives reason.
if
You know what I heard? He told me he had to pull up his socks. Tom didn't like that.
You're talking to America's honesty broker. I got a lot of sources. Okay, so
Oh yeah, I always love when somebody tells me how honest they are. You gonna sell me a car now, Colin?
Are you from Southie?
No, that's a Goodwill Hunting question that I've answered for 15 years, ever since that movie came out. Are you good at math? Do you like apples?
Where are you from in Boston?
I lived in a safe suburbs.
Saugus?
Wait, do you really?
I would like to know.
Look how beautiful you are. Look how beautiful. You know how many psychos are out there? I'm not going to tell where I live.
No, I feel like
What's your social security number?
I don't know what it is about Boston, guys, but Bill Burr is the voice of Boston and America. He's common sense. He's smart. He's a great comedian. He was just in The King of Staten Island. It's now available on digital Blu-ray, and he is joining us via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network.
Can we start by saying I am not the voice of Boston?
Okay.
I grew up in the suburbs. I'm not as tough as the guys, at least the Boston I remember. You hate Boston. I get it. You hate Boston, and you're. I don't know what your deal is. I don't know what happened to you when you went to Boston. I don't know what happened. Okay, but I am not their representative. I left more than a quarter of a century ago. I'm sorry you went on the Freedom Trail, and you didn't get to meet Paul Revere or whatever they promised you. I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend because I'm a jerk. So Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah.
You got to. There should be a high top bar here, like potato skins. This is very Applebee's going out of business. Yeah, you have like that. I don't know if it's me, but you're so happy. Sometimes it bothers me. Like I get actually anxiety around people as happy as you. It's like
is that right?
I can't hit the ball back, dude. I can't sustain you coming to the net with your happiness. I'm just like, this is over. He's going to smash it right at me.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Can these people see us as they walk by?
I think it's tinted, but yeah, they can kind of
That'd be weird, huh? It's like on a Good Day show, you know?
crouch a little so they can't see us.
Yeah, those sad people who show up to the Good Day show at like 5 in the morning, just stand there.
Signs.
Yeah, hoping Ethel sees them.
Like from Kansas all the time. Yeah. Bill, thanks so much for being here. I love this show. You're one of my favorite comedians. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. These chairs are horrific. This is designed for like, I don't know what age. It's not like 6 to 8, like when you're 11. This is like the perfect size. It's not quite adult size. It's not kid size. I already slouch. It's going to be a bad interview, dude, and I'm blaming the chair.
I slouch or go down like this or
All right.
cross the legs. Bill, are you the head writer on the show, or how do you work in the writers' room on the show? Because you write your stand-up specials, you know, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done. And right out of the gate, was it because I made fun of the chairs? I'm sorry. No, I'm not the head writer. Mike Price, the great Mike Price. I have to say there, he beats me in the writer's room. The great Mike Price from The Simpsons. He's the head guy, and I'm one of 10 in there, pitching jokes and that type of stuff. So, yeah, that's what I do in there.
Were you nervous
I'll be sure to have that on my IMDb page for the next time.
No, I love the show, and I was wondering if you were nervous getting in there with a group of writers, since you've been sort of the lone writer of all of your work for so long.
Oh, no, by no means did I want to do this by myself. I mean, you need all of that help. Like, I had an idea to do something like this on my website, just do little 5-minute vignettes, because I used to tell family stories when I first started out doing stand-up, and everybody laughed when I was the young comic. And then as I became the older comic, you know, and the helicopter kids came in, and everything was labeled, and people wore helmets when they rode bicycles, and everything was considered bullying, those same stories didn't get laughs anymore. Everybody was sort of groaning like, oh, you know. I'd be like, no, this was funny. I deserve to get beaten for that. So that's when I decided, well, if I animate these things, and I'm a comedian, so I never did it because I have other jobs that I can do to make money. So it wasn't until I got with Mike Price, he turned it into a show. Vince Vaughn's company, too. And what was your initial, so was this the idea that you initially had going into it, that it would look like this? No, I had no idea what it was going to look like. This was like, I actually decided to do a cartoon because you can get away with more. And also, I did like those one-camera shoots, and those people work like 12, 14-hour days. There's hair, makeup, and wardrobe. So I thought I was being smart doing an animated show, thinking, oh, this will be easy. You know, they just do a little Flintstone shit, you know? I'll come in and say a couple of goofy things into a mic, and I'll go back out, you know, go see a movie or something. And it's not quite how it works. So this alone, just trying to come up with the look of it, which you wouldn't think, it took us we spent I felt like 6 weeks on noses and eyes, because you have to have everybody look. It's a weird thing, like animation. Well, it sets up the world. Yeah, but you have to come up with like your race of like animated people, you know? So the Simpsons have the mustard yellow people with the giant eyes. The Simpsons have like the Pac-Man heads. So you got to kind of come up with your own thing that hasn't been done before. So I hope we did. We try to have like we wanted the 70s look the way most of my friends remember it. I mean, the way Hollywood does the 70s is everybody looked like Ron Burgundy or the Bee Gees or something. And that was, that was a group of people. And everybody drove a Pacer, which they didn't. I remember when that car came out, me and my wife was like, me and my mother, what the hell's wrong with me? So that was the ugliest piece of shit I've ever seen. Sorry, I went out to a diner till like 4 a.m. last night. I got into an argument over music. This kid was trying to tell me that the Foo Fighters were better than the Beatles, and I just couldn't handle that. Wait, what? Let's stick to this for a second, if you don't mind. Who the hell was arguing with you that the Foo Fighters are better than the Beatles? He said he didn't like the Beatles because they didn't. When I listened to their music, he goes, it doesn't make me want to get on an elliptical. Like, this is how this guy judges music. Like, if it makes him want to work out. So, like, with that analogy, it's just like, hey, I don't like Mozart because it doesn't make me want to grab ankle weights. I don't even, and like an idiot, I actually
argued with this person. Like, they're that far down the boulevard. Like, I was going to bring them somewhere to where I was. And my eggs were getting cold, and I stayed in it. It was such a waste of time. It's just one of those days you wake up at like noon hating yourself. Like, I'm decades beyond having these things happen to me, and
How
I
did
still do
you
it.
How did you argue with that? If it started there, how did you argue
Loudly
about it?
upsetting other people. I vaguely remember saying to some guy there, like, because he was giving me shit for how loud I was being, I finally said to the guy, go, dude, who the fuck orders spaghetti at a diner? And I didn't hear another word out of him, so I was proud of that.
The one person who's excited for the huge menu orders spaghetti. You know?
Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah, Wait a minute, do you own Fab TV?
Yes, how do you know that?
Because you're so friggin' dressed down. You just had that vibe. This is how CEOs, like, I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not
And by the
dressed
way,
like
I had to take my host
Your
out.
cameramen are dressed better than you are. I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not a reporter. Didn't even know the name of the show. Didn't even know the name of the show. Wow.
Well, you know what? Take it as a call. I wanted an interview. I'm like, no, I got to be with Bill Burr. You're one of my idols.
So who was you supposed to interview me?
Okay, here.
Unbelievable. What is that? Oh, there you go. Now it looks like an interview.
You know, Mr. Burr, you know, how does it
Wow.
feel?
Okay, I saw, these are the first three movies I saw. I saw For the Love of Benji. Yeah. And then we saw Scarface. She didn't know what it was. She knew it was like a gangster movie, but she thought it was like, you know, like Kojak or something. And if she wanted to leave then, I would have, but she didn't. She just is very reserved. She's just kind of like, maybe this will get better. Like, she just... Hey, how are you? What's going on? Nice to be here. I thought this was over by 7. I'm a stand-up comedian. I tell shit jokes around the country. It's what I do. And I got to be honest, like, I don't know much about writers. You know, I used to think you guys were a bunch of nerds who couldn't hold up your end of the conversation, you know, with strange shoes. I did. There was going to be yet another pilot that was going to fail. I'd just be sitting in a coffee house trying to talk to these writer, and it just would never connect, you know? So I always end up just staring at their shoes, but like, I don't know. I've always been like an idiot. And, no, I did. I used to think like a pony was a little horse. And there was these people down the street had this pony for like 7 years. And one day I said to my mother, I was like, when's that pony going to become a horse? So, I don't know. I didn't understand what you guys did. Like being in a writer's room. I never really understood like what a fucking hell it is. And the last 2 years of my life, I've spent it in there. And like, I've just never contemplated suicide more times in my life, you know? Every time you get that note, like, you know, I don't think we earned this moment. This isn't in our palette. Like, well, who do I root for? I just always just think, you know, there's always that sweet option. We're on like the 8th floor. I just think it. I think I could hit my car, you know, maybe land right in the driver's seat and be poetic. No, I do. Just sitting in a writer's room all day. I come home, I just stare at the wall. I can't hear my wife's voice. My drinking is off the rails. And I just want to say to all you guys, I really respect now what the hell it is you guys do, because it is, without a doubt, the toughest job out here. So thank you for writing shit for me to say. I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know, more and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, you know, I actually think it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
So I got a dog recently. That's a big thing in my life. I went down to the pound and I got a free dog. That's how I say it. I don't say I rescued a dog. All right, it's obnoxious and it's not true. Sick of people doing that. She's a rescue. Yeah, I rescued her. Really? Did you pull her out of a burning building? My girlfriend actually, to be honest with you, got the dog while I was traveling. I was in a different state. My girlfriend got us a dog. Classic female move, you know? That's just a 10 to 15-year commitment. Why would you include me in that decision?
do this because I don't want to have a job. I just like being able to fuck. Like, you know what I love about this interview right now? There's zero preparation. I don't have to do shit. I was watching the fucking Jets-Miami game last night. I had a couple of beers, hanging out with my dog. I had a great fucking time. There was no like, oh, I got this big meeting tomorrow. I got to hit my PowerPoints, graph how comedy exists. There's none of that. I just show up. I might have been the worst comic in the history. Like, first of all, I would get on stage. I was so nervous. I'd take the mic out of the mic stand, and I would immediately just start pacing.
Like a panther.
And it had like a nervous panther who got declawed and defanged. Yeah. And I was just walking back and forth, and my movement had nothing to do with what I was talking about. I can't even believe I got any laughs. I would just be like, yeah, so I was growing up, and my dad was crazy, and it was just like, it was like that thing, you know, the old carnival game where you try to shoot the duck.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades.
When did you start shaving your head? It looks good.
When did I start shaving? I shaved it. I had my first special. I had it shaved.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
When I saw you in New York
I'm
for the
glad,
Patrice
I'm glad
thing.
you liked it. I see you
like
losing
it
the
a
roof there in the back.
Yeah,
You'll be
a
right there with me.
bit. I'll be
We'll
there soon.
do a buddy cop show.
Exactly.
Right? Two balding old guys
Exactly.
going after some hairy criminal.
I'm not a big fan of Steve Jobs, personally.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just don't understand what the big deal was with that guy.
I don't get it. He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff to everybody. What are you talking about?
Did he? Did he sit down and I'm going to invent the iPhone and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have like a chorus of scientists behind him who helped him out too? He walked out like he was Tesla. Like tapping into electricity.
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of told people what to invent. Like he just kind of came in I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert and he goes out there by himself. No belt, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it.
When you took it out on Philly, because they were a bad crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Your famous rant, which you've since said you like Philadelphia, and that wasn't the issue. You were just giving...
People in Philly don't even remember. Basically, if you haven't seen it, I was doing a show for the Opie and Anthony radio program, and they had this show called The Traveling Virus, and we were doing these 10,000 seaters, and we went to Philly, and they're notorious for booing people, and they booed the first guy off stage, and I went on 3 hours after that. So by the time I got up there, it was a complete shit show. And I don't know. They started booing, and I snapped and decided I wasn't going to leave, and I just attacked everything that they loved.
Can women be funny?
Yeah, of course. Will you guys just fucking grow up and just sit down and write your own horse shit and come up with it? Start your own fucking show. Have your own award show. Quit waiting around for other people to do shit for you. That's the fucking problem. If you guys had your own big club and I was standing outside of it, you'd never fucking let me in. I'd start my own shit. You guys got to start your own shit. You got brains in there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So write your own shit and quit your fucking whining. We're all eating a giant shit sandwich out here. Nobody cares. I don't care. Well, when was the last time you went on stage and you killed so hard the person after you bombed? If you're fucking doing that on a regular basis, people are going to notice regardless of what you have between your legs. Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these from the 20s before they had horse tranquilizers in our food when everybody was 5'1"? Yeah,
And nothing's making you mad? Nothing.
Oh, things upset me. Yes. I don't know. I don't want to... Look, I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated. I love this dude texting for the entire interview. It's just trying to keep the attentions on millennials. It's impossible. Look at him. He's already got the chains. He's probably got his own record label. He's making deals as we speak. He's got championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the
I
process?
cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what, this was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Oh, yeah, and there's a drop-off in fame for Jesus at that point. Everyone was paying attention. Now no one gives a shit. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come
man.
with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
You see Sugar Shea Mosley, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he's losing his championship belt in a divorce. Losing, yeah. It's like you're trying to break a man. Why does she want those? Right?
Gonna break
they,
a man.
They go with their shoes. You know? No, and I love how when you get a divorce, all of a sudden it costs like 50 grand a month to give a kid Fruit Loops. Right? These guys, I'm telling you, there is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country, and it is just not being addressed.
We recently got a pit bull, which I know a lot of people don't like because they ate a couple of kids. I understand. They're great dogs, unless you're a bad owner. If you're a psycho, which I am, you can mess them up. I didn't realize that dogs feed off your vibes.
No.
Like if you're cool, if you're chill, they're chilling. If you're sleeping, they're sleeping. But if you're a psycho like me and you're watching the game on TV and you're screaming at the ref like, you gotta be shitting me! I didn't realize the dog was in the corner being like, yeah, you gotta be shitting.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking, they
There Will Be
drill
Blood?
oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. Out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg was
Deepwater
there.
Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas.
So what's up with all these white kids now walking around trying to act like they're like gangster rappers? It's irritating. It's like everywhere I go, man, I figure I'd just be here in the city where you got a good mix of people. I'll be like in the middle of Kansas, though. Like the whitest state ever. There'll be some howdy-doody looking white kid like me. I'm thinking this is one of my peeps. Somebody I can have a conversation with. All of a sudden he's just like, yo, what's up, kid? What's up, kid? I just want to be like, nothing much, Brad. You keeping it real in Wichita? How the fuck are you going to be a gangster in a state, say, like Nebraska? What do you be like, all hardcore about your crop? Just in there, yo, shit was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking corn wasn't wrong, motherfucking scarecrow was tipping over and shit, you know what I'm saying, son? I just want to be like, dude, you're white. Go to the Gap, give into it. Buy some Dockers, and come home.
I've been going to gun stores, and
Oh my God!
and these rednecks are all telling me the same thing because I didn't grow up with guns. So they're just going, all right, you never had a gun, you want to get yourself a shotgun. It's got a great spread. That's what they keep saying. It's got a great spread. You don't even got to aim it. You got a problem, you just sort of whip around. You get the guy, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I just want to shoot the guy. I don't have to do like a bunch of drywall work. Reframe my diploma. So.
Again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now after doing all the lady work, I gotta leave to go do some man work. And is anybody gonna get me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful? No. No one's out there marching for old Frank Murphy. He just watches the sands of his miserable life gather at his feet while his wife, the modern woman, throws on a pantsuit every morning and just... There's my worker bee.
What is your go-to dance move when challenged?
Waiting for the director to say cut.
That was my go-to dance.
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw my kid, it wasn't, I didn't have like, everyone was like, you're gonna burst down crying, you're gonna blah, blah, blah. I was like scared of it. Like I was just sitting there like, hey, yeah, buddy, like I didn't want to touch it. And then like afterwards, they give it to me and I'm hanging with her for the first time and I'm feeling nothing. And I literally put my head down on the bassinet. I'm going, oh my God, I'm a serial killer. Like I don't feel things.
Fool yourself because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So like, yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
So and so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?